bit, or the toughness?
I think the toughness. We weren't as tough as we needed to be for 40 minutes. I thought, a big thing for us coming into this game was the start. So often, when they're, 14-0 start, 13-2, 19-4, those kinds of starts, just didn't think we could have that kind of experience in their building. So we handled that. Got up 7-zip. Twice they took the lead. Twice we took it back. So it's 27-26. It was at that point where they really started to go and add some transition opportunities. We had a couple near misses. And I think we put too much pressure on our offense at that point in time. And then we gave them opportunities. We were scrambling defensively in transition. And we seem to be a team that tries to stem the tide when the other team is making a run with our offense, and you have to do it with your defense. You can't expect to come down and make a three and make another two and take care of it that way, especially against a team of this caliber. So, I thought, our execution down the stretch at the end of the first half was not what it needed to be, and that was unfortunate because I think it nullified what was a pretty good effort to that point. And then obviously at the start of the second half, wasn't pleased at all with our toughness factor defensively at that point.
So,
11 points is not insurmountable. It's 4 possessions in 20 minutes, and what we try to do is get them to understand 2 at a time. And we couldn't get a stop for the first 5 minutes.
is that where you changed your lineup then? Took your
Yeah,
starters out?
I don't like to do that because I think it tends to highlight the players, and I don't like to do that in a negative way. Okay, we're losing because of you 5 guys right now. I don't like to be that guy. What was upsetting to me was the focal point of our halftime discussion and the discussion right before we went back out on the floor was the first 3 or 4 possessions defensively to start the half. So that was why I made the change. I felt like we might get some energy. We might get the deflection, a stop, something, a run out, something that I thought might energize our team at that particular time. Because I was going to take those guys out anyway, and then put them back in, which I ultimately did, obviously.
The block on Aaron White seemed to kind of do 2 things. One, Michigan really got a lot of charge out of it, and then 2, kind of deflated. It looked like Aaron a little bit was kind of sideways afterwards.
Yeah, I think he thought he had it. Kid made a great block on him. I got to give him credit there. It was a clean block. I'm just, Aaron's one of our guys. We got to go to him. We got to keep putting him in those positions, and he'll make most of those. Today I don't know that he blocked out as effectively as he could have against a running rebounder. Robinson is typically on the perimeter, and he flies in there. And I think if you were to ask Aaron, he'd probably be most disappointed about that. But he's going to learn from it.
What's your thoughts on Michigan after holding them really at bay for basically a half?
Well, they have so many weapons. They're hard to keep under control for long periods of time. You really have to stay up because they can score in transition, they can score at half court, and they have a lot of people that they go to. And they've got you stretched out, both with John's offense and with the fact that they have multiple 3-point shooters. So they execute extremely well. They move the ball. I think one of the qualities that is special is they have so many weapons, yet they remain incredibly unselfish. And I think that is probably, in my estimation, the key to their success. Because a lot of guys could be going for theirs. You got guys that want to play in the NBA and want to put up numbers, but when somebody's open, they throw the ball to that person, and they're playing like a team, and that's why they're undefeated.
Fran, thoughts on your team after you played Indiana, which was #1 for most of the year, and now Michigan, which is #2 now. Does that give you a better gauge of what your team is like, or this game specifically skews a little bit more?
I think the only difference is, we played Indiana at home, we played Michigan on the road. Our crowd has been unbelievable. We have played very well at home. We haven't played well on the road this year. We didn't play well at Virginia Tech. We played well on a neutral site. So what I would like to see our team do in terms of, like you said, how do I evaluate my own team? I would like to see us be better in terms of consistency on the road. And we were, as you pointed out, for part of the game, but not for 40 minutes.
What are you hoping that your team can take away from a day like this going forward now, and specifically with Thursday?
Well, I think it's a tremendous learning experience, particularly for our young guys. They were able to sit there and watch what was happening, be in the middle of it. I thought Anthony Clemens was tremendous. I thought he really went after Burke, and that's what you have to do. And he's a tremendous player, Burke, but he went after him, and that's what you want. You want your guys to go after him. And hopefully we'll learn and understand that we have to do a better job rebounding against teams of this caliber. We rebounded much better against Indiana than we did against Michigan, and that gave us a chance and allowed us to stay in the game when we weren't shooting the ball that well.
As far as flushing it or whatever, I think last year you had it in reverse. You went to Michigan State, had a tough performance, then came home and beat Michigan. How much do you dwell on or show this loss and then focus on ahead? Or
no, anytime there's a game like this, we're going to break it down. We're going to show it to the players, and we're going to, not to highlight any over negative and get anybody's face. It's all teaching. It's all learning. It's all growing. And look at the good things. We did a lot of good things today. We only turned the ball over 7 times on the road against a really good team. That's great. But we didn't block out like we needed to. Our execution offensively was better than it's been. That's good, but it's not good enough. And so you got to watch it. You got to go through it. It's not going to be a terrible thing. It's going to be fun to watch, but it'll be something that they'll learn from. And hopefully, when we play on Thursday, we'll do a lot better.
Is there any solace in the fact that Indiana and Michigan are probably the 2 best teams in the conference, so it can only get easier from here?
They're not getting easier. There's a few other teams that are pretty good. I just hope that what we do is keep growing. We've got 3 freshmen in the starting lineup. And you can't say inexperience is a factor because they're just as young as we are. So hopefully we'll start to play better on the road than we have so far.
Anything else?
Thank you.